Hello everyone. These slides will focus on writing the statement of the problem. These slides are applicable for both thesis writing and business planning, also including project study and capstone projects. In every research, kailangan very specific kung ano talaga ang problem na gusto nyong isolve or gusto nyong i-prove. So here are the tips on writing the statement of the problem. Okay, so I summarize it into 5 things to remember so that you can write a good SOP. Let me remind you that writing the statement of the problem is very, very important because the whole thesis hinges upon the SOP. Lahat ng parts ng buong thesis o ng buong paper ay dito nakarely sa iyong research questions. So how do we write it? Okay, so number 1, there will be a general statement and this particular statement is focused on the issue or problem that you want to answer. So this will later be broken down to several research questions. Now, where do you see this? Normally, in the thesis format here in the Philippines, you would have the introduction page, okay, maybe 1.5 pages of introduction, depending on the format being used by the school. And then, merong mga research papers na yung statement of the problem naka-incorporate dun sa loob ng introduction. But for the purposes of our school, ay mas ginawa nating mas concrete dahil na kuminsan the statement of the problem ay nawawala at hindi napapansin kapag nandudoon sa karamihan ng binabanggit mong concern sa iyong introduction. So here we have a subtopic after the introduction specifically stating the statement of the problem. And after that, you would have one sentence statement of what it is that you're trying to prove in the research study. So the SOP is definite and clear and specifies your position. I mentioned this in the very first video about thesis writing, that when you create your statement of the problem, or your thesis statement, you have to have a position, your argument. This is what you want the reader to think, do, believe, or know. So dito, very, very clear na dapat ipo-point out mo what it is you are trying to answer. Again, usually, the statement of the problem is given in a one sentence lang. So a good thesis would have focus. So yung one sentence na yon, nandoon na yung buong idea ng paper, yung buong kabuuan ng thesis, kung ano ba talaga yung thesis all about. So complex sentences formed into paragraphs sometimes attempts to cover too much ground that you would get lost during the actual writing. Kaya din, yung format natin, hindi natin nilalagay sa buong statement of the problem o sa buong introduction. Pwede naman yon. Pero for first-time writers like you are, ay sa tingin ko mas mabuti na talagang ihiwalay siya para alam mo agad at alam ng bumabasa ng iyong thesis na ito ang iyong gustong i-prove. Number 4, yung general statement mo na yon will then be broken down into specific research questions. Now, the normal question is, gaano daw kadaming research questions? Well, it would depend on how complex your thesis is. But for our purposes in the undergrad, normally, mga 4 to 5 specific research questions are enough. Kapag isa o dalawa lang, napakaliit naman ang scope. Kasi, kumbaga, sana hindi mo na lang break down yung iyong general statement. It means that probably your topic suffers from being too narrow. Now, a good thesis would have about 4, 5, no, I do not like 3, 4 or 5 specific research questions that when you combine these research questions, you will be able to answer the general statement. Last, the specific research question should not be ambiguous and contain only one idea. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, dapat i-avoid mo ang compound sentences. Mahilig pa naman tayong mga Pilipino, lagi tayong gumagamit ng and in between our words. For thesis writing, we try to avoid that para alam natin na isa lang yung ating itinatanong at hindi ambiguous kung we're looking at 2 or more items. Okay? So what can be what can be tips for good research questions? So ang ating SMART framework. Okay? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant or reliable, and time-bound. So when we say specific, that means this answer the question on focus. Dapat focus ang iyong question. Alam mo kung ano ang pinupuntirya at hindi maraming pa sikot-sikot. So you have to specifically state what argument or problem or side you are trying to take on in your research study. Another very important aspect of your research question, kailangan siya ay measurable. When we say measurable, hindi siya based on emotions, hindi siya purely descriptive. Siya ay gagamitan mo ng data or statistical tools para i-present ang iyong argument. Okay? Next, it should be achievable. Kapag sinabi nating achievable in the in research writing or in stating your specific questions, that means may pagkukunan ka ng sagot sa iyong mga katanungan. The information is available, data can be gathered, there would be people or respondents that will answer your questionnaire, or the data that will be coming from secondary sources can be gathered or be given to you. And then, yung R ay dalawang aking ibig sabihin. Pwede siyang reliable and relevant. Ang reliable, that means, kung ikaw ay mag-gather ng data, yung pinanggalingan ng data mo ay valid or can be proven na siya ay can be used as fact. Okay? So, yun ang ating sinasabing reliable ang data. At relevant, siyempre, ito ay isa sa ikinukonsider natin. Yung bang mga tanong mo ay relevant para masagot ang iyong general statement. Yun ang unang relevance. At second, crucial bang masagot yang iyong research question na yan? Importante bang malaman yan? At importante ba yan sa overall context ng iyong thesis? And then finally, time-bound. So when you create your research questions, do not try to cover so much ground that baka hindi mo masagot dahil napakahaba o napaka-complex. So, when you specify your research questions, think of the time allotted to you to conduct the study. Okay? And then, ito na yung sample na statement of the problem. So, I start with the general statement. Just like what I've mentioned earlier, this is the one-sentence general statement, which is the overall core of the thesis. So this study aims to determine the effects of online teaching strategies on students' academic performance. So here, what you have are two important variables: online teaching and academic performance. So basically, yun lang. Gusto mo lang malaman kung ano ang impact or effect ng online teaching sa academic performance ng bata. Okay? So, when we say this, ngayon kailangan mo na siyang i-break down. Paano ko ba masasagot kung ano ang impact ng online teaching sa academic performance ng bata? So, ang example ko natin dito ng specific research question, number 1, sinimulan natin sa, what are the online teaching strategies used by teachers in their respective subjects? Why did I start with that? Kasi, yung online teaching strategy can be so broad. Kapag masyadong broad at hindi natin ikinahon kung ano talaga yung pinag-aaralan nating epekto, ano ang cause nung naging effect, yung ating sagot at the end of the thesis can be questioned at saka baka magkaroon ng so much ambiguity na masyadong marami ang magiging katanungan after mong masagot yung iyong thesis question. Kaya, mabuting i-set up mo ang iyong thesis by stating what is happening or what is current. O ito yung pinaka-baseline information kung saan dyan magsisimula yung pagme-measure mo ng impact. So here, alamin lang natin ano ba yung online teaching strategies na ginamit dun sa mga bata para i-put natin into context kung ano yung effect dun sa mga bata dahil itong mga online teaching strategies na ito ang ginamit. Okay? Because you come to think of it, if other schools would have different online teaching strategies, di malamang iba din ang effect sa kanilang mga estudyante. So this kinds of narrow down the coverage of your paper. Second, what could be the effects of the online teaching strategies to the students with respect to the following areas of learning? Now, I chose the model cognitive, affective, psychomotor, or domains of learning because this could be one way of breaking down the so many effects on the student themselves. Kasi holistic naman yung pag-aaral ng mga bata, napakadaming pwedeng epekto sa kanila, and kapag ganito, mahihirapan kang gumawa ng questionnaire, pagkatapos pasok ng pasok yung mga questions mo sa questionnaire mo, and then ang hirap i-analyze. Pero kapag sinubtopic mo siya, like effects on cognitive, effects on affective, and effects on psychomotor, then kapag diniscuss mo kung anong impact sa bata, edi simulan mo muna sa cognitive. Okay, tingnan natin kung before and after the online teaching strategy, may pinagkaiba ba sa kanyang cognitive absorption? Before and after the online teaching strategy, meron bang pinagkaiba sa kanyang affective or psychomotor absorption? So here, pwede kang mag-conclude kung anong naging epekto sa kanyang pag-aaral o sa kanyang academic performance using these three variables. Parang dito sa part na to, dito lumalabas actually yung iyong framework or model or the conceptual design that you're going to use in your study. I normally say that objectives 2 and 3 are the core of the thesis. Okay? Next. Third objective, is there a significant difference in the academic performance of the students prior to the use of online teaching strategies and after the use of online teaching strategies? So here, this is related to your general statement. Gusto mong malaman ng epekto. For me, when you're looking at effect or impact, laging may before and after. Because of the stimuli or the stimulus used. So kung meron tayong bagong teaching strategy online, para makita mong impact nun, titingnan mo muna nung bago magkaroon and after mong gamitin. So here, magde-determine ka ng methodology kung paano mo yan masasagot. So pwedeng gamitin mo rin yung model ng cognitive, affective, and psychomotor before and after, or you can use secondary data. So it's up to you how you would design your methodology based on this statement of the problem. All right? Okay, so if you have a fourth objective or another supporting objective to make your argument stronger, then you could have that. All right? So for the undergraduate research, ang kailangang frame of mind mo kapag gagawa ka ng SOP, tingnan mo muna yung general statement. Magsimula ka muna dun sa broad statement and then derive questions related to the broad statement and see which ones are the best ones to be put into your statement of the problem. Huwag masyadong gawing complex, dapat siya ay simplified, at hindi siya dapat compound sentences o ambiguous statements na daming-daming gustong sagutin. Kailangan per number ay directed or focus lang kung anong isang idea ang gusto mong malaman ang kasagutan. This would help you a lot when you're creating your questionnaire. Thank you.